all right. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, we are back for another week of Just a Fan podcast. All right, I'm gonna start setting up my screen as we get ready to prepare to do this. My second annual mock draft 1 point only.
1 point only, meaning we only do one mock draft per mock season. We do not do 3.0, 5.0. We're not Daniel Jeremiah or Mel Kiper or Todd McShay or
Oh,
any one of
Bucky
those
Brooks
guys.
on that, yeah.
Yeah, we not we don't do all that. We don't do that here. So um we're gonna be going through this mock draft, and I just want to point out, just like my caption says, mock drafts are usually incorrect, are usually aren't correct, but it's fun.
Yes, they are
So
fun.
we're gonna try to get as close to what we think might go down based on team needs and how this mock goes. But don't be coming back on here later. You said your mock was gonna be no.
No one said this thing is gonna be accurate. Okay.
Because let's be real, how many mock drafts do y'all know in recent years have been accurate?
Not even 90% accurate, not even 80% accurate, not even 70% accurate. So everybody relax, calm down. Now we're gonna do our best, like Pando said, to get as accurate as possible. Anyway,
we making an educated guess here.
Yes,
we can educated guesses based on team needs and how the Florida draft goes. Now we can't anticipate people just being crazy because you got some GMs. You're gonna be watching the draft, and it's gonna be some GM, with the sixth pick, the Raiders select Jackson Dart. It's like, wait, what? So that could happen. Stuff like that has happened. So, we just saying we're gonna make some educated guesses here. We're gonna have some fun with this draft, this mock draft. And you guys that are watching right now at home, chime in on go ahead and chime in on what your thoughts. When we get to these different teams, if we get to your team, tell us what you think we should go there. And give us a position, give us a name. When we make our pick, let us know. Hey man, nah, nah, that ain't what my team would do. Or dang, that's spot on. We like it. Just we having fun tonight because it's really gonna go down Thursday night. Don't forget, Just a Fan podcast will be on twice this week. This is our regular time, Monday. We're doing our mock draft, mock 1 point only. And then Thursday, we're going to do a live watch party of the first round of the draft. It's going to be really cool. We're going to do live reactions and analysis of each pick of the first round of the draft. And the show going to run for a while. So it's going to be a marathon, not a sprint. I'm going to have drinks right here. I'm going to have snacks because we're going to have to. Last year we did that. We was on for about 3 hours, huh?
We went through the whole thing.
You went through the whole. It's about 3 hour draft, so it's fun. We had a lot of viewers watch along with us, and
we had 100 viewers last year. Hey, y'all, we had 100 viewers last year. Let's try for at least 115 this year, okay? Can you get us up to 115 this year, please?
150. No, I don't think small. 150, man. Let's go.
Okay, fine. Let's go 150 then. Let's go 150.
So tell your friends about it. We're gonna go live right when the draft starts at 7 p.m. Central. That's 8 p.m. Eastern.
Well, actually, what we're going to do is we might go live a little bit earlier just so we can talk a little bit. But yeah, we will definitely before they get started.
All right. Now, a couple of things about this draft. We will not be doing trades. Okay, we will not be doing trades. This is straight down the board. That's how we like to do it because trades just throw everything off. So, and that's not saying that there won't be trades in the first round. This coming draft on Thursday, I do believe that's possible. You can see some teams moving down, and you can see some teams moving up, especially if the quarterback market starts to get a lot hot. So keep that in mind. But this mock that we're doing is basically going to be It's basically going to be straight down the board. So everybody that's picking where they're supposed to be picking is going to be picking where they're supposed to be picking, if that makes sense.
And guess what? We still have no trades involving first round picks yet. This is crazy for this year. We have no picks involving the first round yet. At this and up to this point, it's a record. It is an NFL record in history.
Well, you talk about it, everybody's drafted where they're supposed to.
Yes.
Yeah.
With no first round picks being traded, anything. This is a record. Okay. So, with that being said, let's get into it. Mock draft simulator. Okay, everything still looks good. Let's hit this draft. Okay. So, number 1 overall, Tennessee Titans. Now, from what I'm understanding, it's going to be Cam Ward. I know teams are trying to get into that number 1 spot. I think Tennessee's just going to take Cam Ward. I don't see anything else happening with that pick unless someone just sweeps him off the feet. Yeah, I think it's Cam Ward. What you think?
I was going to go Cam Ward too. Tennessee's they need a quarterback.
Plus I heard
they're going to be taken seriously. They're going to need a quarterback. So
yeah, I heard
Cam Ward is now the best quarterback on the board. So yeah, that's why I would go.
And I heard Will Levis might be on the trade block, and I'm like, have fun with that one.
A peanut butter sandwich and a half-eaten bag of potato chips. And that still be asking for too much.
All right, so Cam Ward is our pick, okay? Number 2, Cleveland Browns. Now, for me, I'm thinking Travis Hunter.
I can see Abdul Carter going there too.
I can see Abdul Carter going there. I just think it's going to be Travis Hunter.
When you have so many needs when you're the Cleveland Browns. I mean, you need a quarterback, you need a receiver, you need an offensive tackle, you need a running back, you need defensive tackle,
defensive end linebacker. Yeah, you need a lot.
So I mean, because we're going straight down the board.
Well, I don't think they're trading anyway. I don't think they're trading back. I think
I know. I don't think they're trading back because Cleveland going Cleveland. But if I'm the GM in Cleveland, I'm trying to save my job, and the only way I'm gonna save my job is if I bring in some good players and start playing competitive football again. I'd trade out of this spot for a team that wants a quarterback. You got Joe Flacco.
Yeah.
Joe Flacco can hold it down for you. He's good enough to hold it down for you. But you put pieces around Joe Flacco can shine. I trade back and pick up a whole bunch more picks. But because this is just a fan's mock point,
1 point only.
1 point only.
With no trades.
I'm going to go with Travis Hunter.
Okay, Travis Hunter.
Yeah.
Travis Hunter, skill position player, Colorado.
Swiss Army knife. Yeah.
And Travis Hunter is officially the pick.
Yeah, so number 3,
New York
Giants. It's another team, man. We need a lot of stuff. We got you got 2 quarterbacks that's like you got 2 half of a quarterback coming. You're trying to make a whole quarterback out of the 2 halves of a quarterback.
Uh-huh.
So they may sit back and just say, okay, we're gonna run with this for right now. Even though I like Shedeur Sanders here, I think
I do too.
I think Brian Daboll's not stupid. I think he knows he needs to build a team. So when he does bring in his quarterback, however young that quarterback might be, that quarterback's gonna have enough pieces around him to be successful.
Yes.
I like Shedeur here, but I think I'm gonna go with offensive tackle Will Campbell.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I got
because tackles are the premium.
Okay, well, I'm gonna push back on you.
Okay.
I got Abdul Carter.
You know what? I can't get mad at you for that because Abdul Carter is the best player in the draft, regardless of position. I think everybody has him on their big board as the best player in the draft. So I think it would be fortuitous for New York if he fell to them at 3 because everybody got him going in the first 2 picks. So I'm gonna defer to you.
Okay.
And I'm gonna go ahead and say Abdul Carter at 3 to the Giants.
Okay. So let's do Abdul Carter. Do 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 do.
And they not that we gonna get sued for that, man. You can't.
do.
Yeah.
All right. Number 4, New England. Now, I'm understanding again. Now, this time, New England could trade back. I've heard this.
I've heard that too.
I've heard New England could trade back. Also, they could stay firm. Elliot Wolf is their de facto general manager, and he's the son of Ron Wolf. Okay.
Well, you got your quarterback.
I think they go blind side protector, offensive lineman. I really do think they go.
And I'm thinking the same thing. And since Abdul Carter's already going to New York, let's go ahead and send Will Campbell from LSU.
I agree.
To the Patriots.
All right. So Will Campbell, offensive tackle, LSU, to New England Patriots to protect Drake May's blind side, and let's get it going. Boom.
Duval.
All right. So Liam Cohen with the worst Duval channel ever in Duval history, unfortunately. Their general manager comes over from the Rams. He was under Les Snead. So
I got Mason Graham right here. You can't. Mason Graham falls to them at number 5. They have they have a bigger need at defensive back, but they do have a need at defensive tackle. And if Mason Graham's there, you can't let him get out. You can't.
Now, I'm about to push back against you again.
Okay.
I'm hearing that Jacksonville needs to score touchdowns.
Okay.
So if they need to score touchdowns, the only player right now to me that makes sense for them to score touchdowns is Ashton Genty.
That's a reach. And it's, in my opinion, it's a reach, and you still have Travis Etienne there.
That is true now.
And there's another kid, I forgot the other running back, and the running game's not the problem in Jacksonville.
Okay, so then
they defense can't stop a wet fart. Like, I'm serious. So
do they go Tuttle McMillan or do they go Tyler Warren to tight end?
I don't think they go offense at all. The biggest issues are in the defense. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's going to either be a corner or it's going to be a D tackle. And at this particular time, Mason Graham has a higher grade than any of the other corners.
Okay, we go Mason Graham then.
Yeah, you just don't let Mason Graham get by you like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So number 5 overall, the Jacksonville Jaguars select
Mason
Graham, defensive tackle, Michigan, and let's go ahead and stamp this now. Okay. Number 6, Las Vegas Raiders. Now I think Genty goes here.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, that's what I was going.
I got Genty going here, so let's go and slam that. Let's go ahead and hit that now.
Yeah, I got Genty going to the Raiders.
Las Vegas Raiders take.
They realized they screwed up when they let Josh Jacobs walk out the building.
Yes, they did. And
you need somebody that can do what he did or remotely close to it.
Okay.
New
York Jets. Woo! Now I'm gonna be honest with you, because of my mock drafts, I really had Mason Graham going here to the Jets. Okay. I didn't draft Jackson. I mean, I didn't draft for Jacksonville. It was automatic. So, but I kept getting Mason Graham to the Jets. So don't be surprised if he does fall to the Jets that he goes there. But if they're gonna stay on the clock, I don't think they take Shedeur Sanders.
Nope.
I'm gonna go either Will Johnson, Tyler Warren, or Jalen Walker.
I don't have any of those.
Who do you have?
I have Ahmad Membu.
The offensive tackle?
The offensive tackle.
You know what? Tyron Smith.
What position did he play?
offensive tackle. And you know the crazy
Hold
thing
on.
is they just drafted offensive tackle last year, and I heard they actually might take another one this year. You're right. Yeah, let's go there. Let's go there. Let's do that.
There you go.
Let's do that. I
Amon
give you that.
Member to the Jets.
Yeah, offensive tackle Missouri. All right. Hey,
Carolina Panthers. This
Aaron,
is where, yeah.
let me see if I can scroll down. I know I can. Oh, I can't. What?
It's not letting you scroll.
No. How do I?
You roll your mouse. It's not letting you do.
Hold on. See, I don't want to click on something and then. Ooh, no. Close. Oh, okay. I was going to say. Whoo, that scared me for a minute. All right, we're good. Sorry, y'all. All right, so number 8, Carolina Panthers. Now, this is going to be interesting.
This is where I see Ted McMillan going. Again, I don't think Ted McMillan is that special. I don't.
You know what?
But everybody else seems to disagree with me. And I don't have a problem with being wrong because I'm, like I said, I'm not,
Okay. I don't know if Carolina takes him. I do see New Orleans taking him.
I don't. And I'm going to tell you why when we get to New Orleans, though.
Okay.
Well, first we got to pick for the Panthers. And
Okay,
I got Ted McMillan right there. Ted McMillan and the kid that was drafted from South Carolina last year.
Jason Horn?
No, the receiver.
Leggett.
That's a pretty good combination right there. With Leggett being the alpha receiver, the X guy, and McMillan coming in being your 2. I don't think McMillan is the best receiver in this draft, but all of the talking heads thinks he's the best receiver in this draft, and I'm like, I disagree. But I'm just going with what the scouts are saying and what all the talking heads are saying at this point. But you heard it here first on Just a Fan Podcast, and I'm going to talk about it again on Thursday, wherever he goes. I'm not that impressed with Ted McMillan. I think he's a one-trick pony, but everybody loves him. I got Ted McMillan to the Panthers, though.
And we have a comment from my buddy, our colleague, Tristan Morris, saying he got to have a huge jump this year to be legit number 1.
Talking about Leggett.
He's okay.
Leggett.
Okay. All right, so
they drafted him to be that guy, so he's gonna have to be that guy. Or McMillan can come in there and push him, and whoever wins out, whoever wins out, that's the X. Then the other guy's the Z.
Okay, so then let's put McMillan in for Carolina. So the Carolina Panthers take wide receiver Tedro McMillan, wide receiver Arizona.
Now here is what the New Orleans Saints have been waiting on right here for this to happen. Right here at pick number 9, the very next quarterback on the board, which they were praying that this happened, and it's the board is falling this way. New Orleans Saints take quarterback Shedeur Sanders, Colorado.
Pushback.
Okay.
I'm hearing they don't want a quarterback at number 9.
Well, Mickey Loomis still the GM, and he's stupid. So yeah. You're right. And I don't think there's a Saints fan that's going to disagree with me right there. I don't think there's one that's going to be like, no, Eric, you ain't wrong. The pick that would make sense.
Oh, hey, listen. I agree with you. The pick does make sense to take Shedeur Sanders. Okay? But yes. I'm hearing that New Orleans don't want to take a quarterback here. I'm hearing that they want to take a wide receiver.
Dear God in heaven.
And hey, this is what I'm hearing.
The next one up would probably be Golden.
Yeah,
that'd be the next receiver up.
Yeah, so you want Golden is either Golden or Sanders.
I like Sanders right there because I'm not stupid. If I'm the GM of the Saints, I'm not stupid. You don't know what Derek Carr's situation is going to be. You don't trust Spencer Rattler, and Jacob Haynes is too zesty to play quarterback. So. I'm gonna bring in Shedeur.
All right, let's do Shedeur Sanders.
Yeah.
So the New Orleans Saints take quarterback Shedeur Sanders from Colorado.
All right. Next up is the Bears.
Okay, now my mock drafts have had the Bears taking an offensive lineman.
I have too. I've done several, but the weird one had them taking like Tyler Warren right there. I don't see it right there. I think they really need to protect the young
Caleb
Caleb
Williams. They
Williams.
really do. They really do.
So it's about now. They did go get some linemen in the offseason,
They sure
but
did.
but you can never have too many offensive linemen, especially when you're in the situation that Chicago Bears are in. I have them taking Kelvin Banks.
Now, I'm hearing people. Now, one of my favorite people that covers offensive linemen says Banks is more of a guard than a
Guard.
tackle. And see,
And that's the reason why they would take it because of
but here's the
his
thing, though.
security.
You brought in two guards and a center.
But he can play tackle. Remember I say your best ability is availability. Your next
I
best
understand
ability
that.
is
I
versatility.
understand that. So then let's do this. And I know that according to this will be a reach.
But to
Let's go
stretch
get Josh
Armstrong, this
Simmons.
thing,
Let's go get Josh Simmons.
that is a reach.
But hey, my offensive line person saying Josh Simmons is really the best tackle in this class.
I don't even think. Okay, we'll
What do
talk
you want
about
to do?
it.
You want Banks or Simmons? We can
I
go
prefer
Banks.
I prefer Banks.
Let's go Banks.
Okay, so we'll go Banks. I
Yeah,
already
we'll
clicked
go
the
Banks.
button. I already clicked the button on mine on Josh Simmons.
All right. Well, I'm gonna go. Well, we got it on here, so we're gonna go Banks.
Okay. Okay.
So the Bears take offensive tackle Calvin Banks Jr. from Texas. 49ers. All right, I'm deferring to you.
The 49ers. So the rumors around the campfire is that the 49ers are open to trade down here. But if the flow of the draft goes like we think it should, what really should happen is they'll probably take a player here because that means if two quarterbacks or more go in the top 10 picks, the 49ers are going to be okay with sitting at 11.
Yeah, I
Um,
would.
because you got a wealth of players that are right
Mm-hmm.
there.
Mm-hmm.
And then also, I also want to add, it's going to be kind of hard. It's going to be kind of hard to find partners to trade down
It is.
unless you got somebody that's down there that really thinks high of Jackson Dart or something along those lines. Yeah, it's gonna be hard to find a trade partner, even if they want to move down. Even if they want to move down, I just don't see that happening. So right here, the 49ers at a deficiency at defensive tackle. Now, Mason Graham, the best DT on the board, is gone now. So what I'm thinking is right here, you're probably looking at them taking Jalen Walker. They need defensive tackle and they need edge. So they're probably looking at Jalen Walker to come in and play edge for them. Jalen Walker, Georgia, edge rusher.
Man, I'm gonna tell you something right now. Y'all get Jalen Walker. You better do some backflip shit. Okay.
That's what I'm saying. If a guy like Jalen Walker falls like that, and he's sitting right there in your lap, and let me provide a disclaimer. Let me go ahead and say this. John Lynch has a penchant for messing up the first round. He eats day 2, day 3. He eats. He kills it. But day 1, John Lynch will do some head scratching stuff. Jalen Walker could probably be sitting there ready to fall in their lap, and he won't take it. I can see that happening. But
Partake of
today,
Shamar Stewart.
Yeah, somebody like that. And Shamar Stewart did visit the Niners, and Jalen Walker didn't visit. He wasn't one of the 30 visits. But yeah, that's what frightens me because you're right, Brandon. John Lynch could go off and take somebody like a Shamar Stewart at 11 and have me cussing for the second year in a row. Okay. Because I had to mute my mic last year.
Yeah, we did.
Ricky Pearsall.
Yeah, we did.
And Ricky Pearsall's not terrible, but he wasn't worthy of a first round draft pick. He's decent, but he wasn't a first rounder. And especially you talking about top 15. No, this guy got to stomp his foot and light a match. If you picking somebody at 11, you got to need somebody surefire that's going to stomp his foot and light a match at a position of need. And right now, it's along that front seven. So we're going with Jalen Walker at 11.
All right, Jalen Walker,
Now, watch, they do
49.
something completely different.
Now,
They're
against
going
the
to do something
run,
completely different Thursday.
now against the run, you want him more so a linebacker next to Fred Warner, but against the pass, you want him opposite of Bosa and a wide nine getting after the quarterback.
I really think he can. Looking at him, I really feel like he can play with his hand in the dirt the whole time.
Yeah, but he's light.
Yeah,
He's light.
yeah, I know.
That's the only thing that scares me. All right, Dallas. With
Well,
what's left.
I'm gonna defer to you, but because there are a bunch of players that Dallas.
Yeah, it is. It really is.
I'm looking at my big board, and you got Will Johnson, the corner out
I
of
see
Michigan.
him.
You got Tyler Warren, the tight end out of Penn State.
I don't think it's him.
Okay, you got Matthew Golden, the wide receiver out of Texas.
That's another person.
You got Mike Green, the edge rusher from Marshall.
I'm not sure, but keep talking to me.
You got Derek Harmon, defensive tackle out of Oregon.
Now I'm gonna stop on Harmon I'm gonna stop you on Harmon. I'm hearing that Harmon has injury
issues.
Yes. So Harmon might slide.
Oh yeah, you got Shamar Stewart.
So So I think it's coming down to Will Johnson, Golden, and Stewart. I pray to God it's not Stewart. Honestly, I hope someone like Carolina just takes Stewart. I really do. I hope Carolina takes Stewart. I hope somebody else takes Stewart. So wait, that can just be out my hair. I also want my Mikael Williams, but he's not up there. So
no, it'd be a reach. You'd have to move back to go get him. Yeah.
I understand. I can go Will Johnson or Matthew Golden.
Will Johnson is rated higher than Matthew Golden on the big board.
Yeah, I'm looking at it. I'm gonna go Will Johnson.
Okay, Will Johnson, cornerback, Michigan.
And the reason why I'm gonna go Will Johnson, Michigan, is because I think Dallas might work something during draft weekend to bring in a number 2 receiver. It would not surprise me if they make a trade.
Via trade?
Yep.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go Will Johnson.
All right, next we have the Fins.
So let me make this happen. Hold on. Will Johnson, cornerback, Michigan to Dallas Cowboys. Miami Dolphins.
Their biggest need is interior offensive lineman, guard.
So, and that's interesting because I think all of my mock drafts, and I did not write that down, but I could have sworn all my mock drafts had the Dolphins taking an offensive lineman.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and Tyler Booker makes the most sense. He's the best guard in the draft.
Yes, he is. So let's go.
Now you can say that that's a reach for a guard that early, top 15. That's saying a lot. You know, he better be able to play like Travis Frederick or somebody like that.
Mm-hmm.
He better be on that level. He better be stomping his foot and lighting the match. I'm telling you.
Yep. So yeah, we go Tyler Booker, guard, Alabama to the Dolphins. All right. Indianapolis Colts. Let's slide this thing down a little bit more.
Here's where your tight end goes. This is where your first tight end comes off the board.
Now, which one do you prefer, Tyler Warren or Colston Loveland?
Oh, without question, Tyler Warren's the best tight end.
Okay.
Yeah. Loveland's good. I ain't taking nothing from him, but Tyler Warren's clearly the best tight end in the draft.
All right, so Tyler Warren, tight end, Penn State, Indianapolis Colts. ATL, shawty.
Now, originally, I had Will Johnson going here.
Okay.
They have needs in the secondary. Well, yes. Let me put it like this. The Falcons have needs in all 3 levels of the defense.
Yes.
So,
and matter of fact, it's defense heavy. According to here, it says team needs corner, D tackle, edge, safety, linebacker.
So you got Mike Green that's still available.
I wouldn't be mad putting Mike Green or Jahadi Brown or Malachi Starks, but Mike Green opposite of Matthew Judon will help out a whole lot.
So you're saying Mike Green?
Yeah,
I kind of agree with that because you got to start from the front and work your way back when you build
yeah,
on it.
yeah,
So you still got some decent guys in the secondary. They're not great, but they're good.
yeah.
But
Because you got AJ Terrell corner, and then who's the safety? Jesse Bates.
and Simmons.
Simmons is a free agent.
Wait, Simmons left.
Yeah, Simmons is a free agent,
Okay. But
and
yeah,
he's still out there too.
you still have not been able to put pressure on the quarterback adequately in Atlanta. So
Exactly, exactly.
Mike Green seems to be the now again, blank might reach for Shamar Stewart. I would just be real on Just a Fan podcast. We do not like Shamar Stewart. We just be real with it. He got to prove us wrong
Right.
because all of us who have really scouted and looked at film of him and looked at his production, like okay, we really think it's just all about his combine production and not his production in actual games. Like you can't put on the film and be like, whoa. Brandon feels the same way I feel. That's why we skipping over Shamar Stewart because in our war room, Shamar Stewart don't get picked until maybe day 2. You know,
Yeah, he ain't lying. He's not lying.
yeah,
This guy, and I said it either last show or 2 shows ago. I said this man only has 4.5 sacks in 3 seasons. 4.5 sacks in 3 seasons.
that's a problem.
He has 11 tackles for loss in 3 seasons.
Yeah, that's a
Okay,
problem for me.
and the reason why I threw on tackles for loss was because I said, okay, well maybe he gets back there, but just not able to, make the play, and so maybe he makes up for it with tackles for loss. Nope, 11 tackles for loss in 3 seasons. So, and he has a couple of counterparts. And we might talk about them later, or talk about them Thursday night, who outperformed him on that defensive line. So, but anyway,
Yeah.
we're gonna go Mike Green here, defensive end, edge, Marshall.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So Mike Green, there you go. All right, Arizona Cardinals.
All right, so the Cardinals are having needs an edge, defensive tackle, wide receiver, guard, linebacker. They just, they just not good.
Do they take Golden or Michael Williams?
I think Michael Williams would probably help them more than Golden would. Because it ain't like am I taller than a 5th grader is having problems with targets getting this. He's got targets out there. I just think they defense is not special outside of Buda Baker.
Man, Buda Baker's
Buda's a phenom, but the rest of them are like, man.
I feel sorry for Buda because he's by himself out there.
Yeah, and he's getting older and older, and he signed another deal.
They wasting his time. They wasting his time and his talent.
Yeah, and he signed an extension. He's gonna be there for a little bit longer.
Buda Baker looks like Will Smith at the end of the Fresh Prince episode. When he's looking around
the house out and he's standing there,
the room is all empty and stuff.
Yeah.
That's what he looks like.
But yeah, I like excuse me, Michael Williams, edge, Georgia.
Okay, let's take it then.
Yeah.
Cincinnati.
Okay, Cincinnati.
Edge, D tackle, guard, corner, safety.
All 3 levels of the defense. You can't go wrong here. It's like anybody you pick. I like Derek Harmon going here.
Yeah, but remember I just told you about Harmon too.
Yeah, but he's still a talent. And at this point, I mean, the only way you could really go wrong is if they took Shamar Stewart.
God. I prefer to give him a DB, man.
Well, and I hate to see this, but Jahdae Barron, who's probably the most versatile, high-graded defensive back, is sitting right there. And Jahdae Barron is, again, one of those guys I talked about him before. He can play safety. He can play deep middle safety. He can play in the box. He can come down and cover guys
In the
in the
slot.
slot, and in a pinch, he can cover outside. And it's like that type of versatility is first round worthy. Um, I think he's great. And Cincinnati needs a player that can really, move the needle for them defensively, where you can stick him anywhere back there, and he's gonna show and prove.
Yes.
I
So
mean,
you want
and then
Burrow?
it don't hurt that he's got a 4.39 40, and he's 194 pounds. So he brings the thump.
So you want Burn or Harmon?
You said give him a DB, and he's the best DB left on the board.
All right, so we'll go Burn then.
Jade Barron. Okay.
All right.
Now
Jody Burn, cornerback, Texas.
you dealing with the chickens now, out there by the sea. There's two things I can see them doing. They don't have a viable target at tight end, in my opinion,
I
but
agree.
they also need offensive line help.
Mm-hmm.
Because whoever gonna play quarterback right there, coming up now, this guy's not gonna be as mobile as Geno Smith. So
Right, because it's
he's gonna be a target back there.
so was it Sam Darnold back there?
Yeah. So I'm like Josh Simmons, Ohio State, still on the board, and then you got Colston Loveland, which is to be a great outlet guy, a great security blanket. And
What about Matthew Golden? I'm just throwing it out there. I'm not saying that's who it is, but what about Golden too? Because
you know what?
they need to replace Metcalf and Tyler Lockett. I know they got Jackson Smith and Jigba, but they still need a receiver like
still
Golden.
feel like Jackson Smith is Jigba is instead of JSN is JAG. He don't do it for me. But yeah, Matthew Golden, the three guys I can see going here because these will feel a need, and they're the top rated guys that's left on our board. Be Matthew Golden, Colston Loveland, and Josh Simmons.
All right, so we got to pick this one. I'm gonna leave it up to you since that's your division.
I like to see them fail, so I'm going to pick somebody that's going to help them the least.
I should have not have said that.
But no, being realistic, okay, taking my fan hat off and putting on my GM hat.
You gonna give him Shamar Stewart?
Yeah, I was gonna give him Shamar Stewart. I really was. I really was. But I would go ahead and go with you always got to build from the trenches on back. So I would go with Josh Simmons right there.
Okay.
Surprisingly, that he would actually even be there, at this point of the draft. We talking about 18 and he's still there.
Buccaneers.
Everything
on defense.
So you got Winfield back there at safety. Okay, you got him back there at safety. But I think corner is a bigger need. But at this point, the other corners are kind of a reach. The remaining corners. You got Trey Amos. He's the next one available.
Do they have a tight end?
Yeah, isn't Cameron Bray still there?
Okay. Now, also, could they also get younger wide receiver go with Matthew Golden?
If Matthew Golden falls to them, it makes sense. But my God, that defense.
I know. Okay. Okay, hold on.
Because that's another team that all three levels of the defense need help.
Okay, this might be a reach. Okay. But to pair him up with Levante David, because Levante David keeps getting longer and longer in the tooth.
Jihad Campbell. It's not far-fetched. Anything at this point, anything defensively is not far-fetched.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, as long as they not just super reaching, they plastic man in it, So Jihad Campbell to the Bucks. I'll take that. Yeah.
Linebacker, Alabama. All right. Denver Broncos. Now the Broncos, I'm hearing are planning on trading up and they want a running back. Okay. So I really, really do think they're going to go running back in this draft. I know Eric doesn't like drafting running backs in the first round.
I don't, but if that's the word, then that's what they do.
And I also know that trading up for a running back in the first round is probably even crazy. They'll probably just Probably take Eric and
That's
probably.
insane. Yeah, that's insane.
Yeah.
That's just insane.
Yeah. I'm hearing Sean Payton really wants to be aggressive.
Well, for his
Trade up
type
for
of
Mike.
offense, Omarion Hampton makes the most sense right there.
All right, well then let's go Mario Hampton running back,
Yeah,
North
because
Carolina.
Omarion Hampton can do all of the things
Sean Payton wants.
Alvin Kamara used to do in Sean Payton's offense.
Okay.
So now here's a team that I really thought would be trying to move up to go get a quarterback is Pittsburgh Steelers.
And you know what's crazy? All my mock drafts have Shador Sanders falling to him.
He ain't gonna fall that far. They're gonna have to
I know,
move
no, I
up.
understand. Now I get it. So Pittsburgh,
Honestly, I like Jackson Dart right there.
I was just going to say Pittsburgh really, really wants a quarterback, and since Shador Sanders is gone, it probably will be Jackson Dart.
Yeah, I think
will be Jackson Dart.
Now here, moving right along. This
Hold on. Jackson Dart, quarterback, Ole Miss.
All right, now here,
the Chargers,
is where you see your wide receivers start to show up, because you got the Chargers, then you got the Packers.
Yes.
So then you skip over Minnesota, and you got the Texans as well. So these are three potential places you can see wide receivers.
Okay, so are we saying the Chargers going? Now hold on. I don't know if Chargers go after Matthew Golden.
Why not?
I'm not saying they're not going for a receiver. I'm just saying they may not go after Matthew Golden.
So who you think they would go after? Because Matt's the highest rated receiver on the board now.
They want a physical receiver who's gonna block. So who's gonna block?
I think he has it. Well, Matthew Golden's kind of light in the ass, so but that don't mean nothing. I mean, 5'11", 191. I've seen some little guys go and tear ass blocking out on the perimeter.
Okay, can Matthew Golden block?
Yes. Now, is he? And you got to ask the question and be fair. Is he a hardball blocking receiver?
That's what I'm saying.
Blocking receiver.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but also, damn it, you need somebody that's gonna catch the ball, and Johnston ain't doing it though. And Matthew Golden will catch the ball. And he has a diverse route tree. He can take the top off. He can run short routes. He can run those deep overs. He can run quick slants. Matthew Golden is extremely versatile. Got a very diverse route tree. I really like, just looking at film, I like Matthew Golden.
All right, let's go Matthew Golden then.
Yeah.
Wide receiver Texas. And that's a steal at this point.
Okay, so we got Green Bay here. You got edge, you got corner, you got wide receiver, you got defensive tackle, and you got linebacker. Right here is where I think the problem child winds up. From Tennessee. Edge James Pierce.
Okay.
Going to Green Bay.
So it'll be James Pierce. It would be who's the other edge? Lucas Van Ness. Oh, is Rashawn Gary still there?
Yeah.
Okay, that's not bad.
Yeah, so now I have Nick Scarlton with a higher grade than James Pierce, but James Pierce is the bigger name. So I like James Pierce to Green Bay. Now, I don't know where Jody is, because normally she would chime in right now and be like, yeah, I ain't gonna send that fool to my team.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, where is she?
I don't know, but I sent her a message and say, hey, we're going live, but I hadn't seen her. So, but we've been talking all week, but I said, hey, we're doing our mock draft Monday. You need to chime in. I hadn't heard from her, but James Pierce, Tennessee, edge.
Okay, James Pierce Jr.
Now watch this. You got the Minnesota Vikings. You just had a really good safety, if I'm not mistaken, retire.
I think Harrison Smith did retire. Oh, wait a minute, hold on.
Uh-huh.
Give me a second. Let me confirm that.
Because I'm going to tell you where I'm going with this, if that's true. And even if it's not true, I'm still going to tell you where I'm going.
And you know, it probably makes sense anyway because he's 36 years old.
Mm-hmm. I'm telling you where I'm going.
Talk to me.
Nick Emenwari. South Carolina. He
Okay.
can do everything that Harrison Smith did. He's a perfect replacement scheme wise for that defense.
So for Brian Flores defense,
Nicky
yeah.
will.
Okay. So yeah, Harrison Smith did come back.
Okay, you got his replacement. He's ready to learn underneath him. So when he decides to go to the house, Nick Eamon Warren can come in and tear up some stuff.
So Nick can is ready for the Flores defense.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Nick.
He can also play dime linebacker.
Okay. So his name is what? Nick what?
Eamon Warren,
Yeah.
South Carolina.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Minnesota. Boom.
All right.
H-Town.
So Houston, as you remember, they jettisoned a lot of their offensive linemen.
They sure did.
Okay. And I'm thinking they looking to interior linemen. I think if Matthew Golden would have fallen to them, they might have gone ahead and say, yeah, let's go ahead and grab Matthew Golden. But this young man right here has a higher grade than any of the other receivers that are left. Even Igbuka from Ohio State. Gray Zabel, offensive guard, North Dakota State.
Okay.
He's the second highest rated guard in the NFL going into this draft. In the draft, I should say, not in the NFL. And I think he make a good addition. I think he fits the scheme, that zone scheme. 6'5", 312, but he can move.
Yeah, so he's going to have to gain some weight, but yeah, okay.
Nasty blocker.
Okay.
Like nasty puller.
Okay.
So we're giving Houston some toughness up front.
All right. Greg Zabel. Like I said, he needs to gain some weight, but he can do that off off-season peanut butter.
Right.
Rams.
Now the Rams, they gonna draft Pee Wee Herman. I'm playing.
I can't stand you.
Yeah, they might as well. They've been running their mouth reckless all about my team and everything, but they have needs at linebacker, corner, edge, tight end, running back, and if you want to go BPA at this, you can go ahead and draft Shamar Stewart in LA. Or if they want to go offense, they could take.
Now here's my.
They could take.
Now, it's interesting they say edge because they got those two boys, Verse,
Young and
Verse. So I'm surprised they said edge.
So offensively, offensively, what makes sense would be Colston Loveland.
I agree.
Because they don't have their tight end is not a threat.
I agree. I take Colston Loveland.
Yeah, so Colston Loveland to the LA Rams. All right. And all of the non-existent LA Ram fans are cheering right now. Okay. We're here with the Ravens. The Ravens have needs an interior line,
corner,
secondary,
edge and
linebacker. So I'll tell you what, Derek Harmon's still there. I know that's not one of their main needs, but here are your choices. If you look at the top 5 guys that's still out there, you got Shamar Stewart, Derek Harmon, Malachi Starks, safety out of Georgia,
right?
Defensive tackle Walter Nolan, and Nick Scarleton, edge. What do you think? Because here's my thing: if you don't take an edge right here, Baltimore, the Lions damn sure will the next pick.
They will. I will go Nick Scorton. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Because I don't like Stewart. I'm concerned about Harmon. You know Stark's better than me.
Mm-hmm.
I also don't like Walter Nolan.
All right, we're going Nick Scarleton.
Okay. Because yeah.
Now, Next up is the Detroit Lions. We looking at edge, guys. You need a bookend to go with. Kind of like the same situation in San Francisco. You need a bookend to go with Nick Bosa. You need a bookend to go with Aiden Hutchinson. The remaining edges, you got Shamar Stewart still there. Donovan Eziraku from Boston College. I hope I pronounced his man name right. Landon Jackson from Arkansas. And then JT Tuamualo from Ohio State.
I like JT. I need to look at Donovan again.
He's kind of light. He's under 250.
Okay, so yeah, that's like. Hey, I heard what you call it could be on the trade block.
Who's that?
The other receiver, not of course not St. Brown, Jameson Williams.
Yeah, but I mean, Jameson Williams is kind of like that third guy.
That is true.
He's not gonna get a lot back. You're not gonna get a lot back for him. It's actually cheaper to keep him.
Okay, because I was gonna say if they do trade him, do you take Emeka Obuka?
Ibuka.
Yeah.
Yeah, I still think the bigger need is at edge though.
All right, who's my other edge options? Because you said dude was light.
All right, Shamar Stewart, Donovan Eziraku.
Just call him Easy right now. Donovan Easy, Landon Jackson, and JT.
Yeah.
Shoot, I need to look at Landon Jackson again too. How much you weigh, son? Go Jackson.
Landon Jackson, edge, Arkansas.
All right, Washington. I wish Trishan was on here, but it's all good.
I think I just messed up. Hold on. No, I didn't. Okay, here we go. So we're going Landon Jackson, Arkansas, Detroit.
Yep.
All right. So we got the
Washington
Commanders. Okay. And yeah, again, every level of the defense. And then wide receiver, which I think that's kind of a wide receiver is not a need that they need to fill in the first round. That's a day 2, day 3 thing. Because you still got Scary Terry. You just added Deebo Samuel. Yeah, you need another wide receiver, but it ain't like, oh my God, we got to get a wide receiver. I think everything they do is gonna have to be defensively.
Okay. Talk to me about Malachi Starks because Dan Quinn is a cover 1, cover 3 guy. Actually, he's more cover 1 if he can get those players that he wants.
So the thing about Malachi Starks is he looks like he'd be more suited to be in the box.
And they already have Jeremy Chin.
Right. So, but he has to get up and go and the range if you want to stick him back there. But then again, they got Quan Martin.
But you say he's better off being in the box than being up single high because, like I said,
now he can play single high pretty well. He's got the range.
Can he handle it at volume that Dan Quinn might want to go?
Now that's a big question mark.
Okay, so that's the
I like him better inside in the box. I like him better in the box. If you want him to be a deep ball safety, that might be on a regular basis. That's kind of pushing.
Okay, so then let me go. Donovan Easy, and I know you say it's light, but they want to replace Dante Fowler at defensive end.
So you're saying the Boston College kid?
Yep, Donovan Easy.
Okay, done and done.
All right,
Tristan, you're not on here to talk about it. We can't. I mean, man, Uh, Buffalo Bills.
Buffalo Bills.
Again, this is not a trading draft, but we're not trading back. But I like, honestly, Malachi Starks could go here. Shamar Stewart could go here because just got released.
Von Miller.
Von Miller. Derek Harmon looks good here. Walter Nolan looks good here, and
That is true.
Trey Amos looks good right here. So yeah, it's now I have Siobhan Revel right here also, and an earlier pick. He's another corner.
Okay, so do you go Amos or Revel?
I like Amos better.
Okay.
So we're going corner in Buffalo.
Yep.
Corner in Buffalo it is. Okay, and we got the Kansas City Cheats. EATS Cheats.
Man, let me tell you something. They need to go offensive line.
They should, but they won't.
They won't. I know they won't. I know they won't. And they should, based off what happened at the Super Bowl. And I'm sorry, everybody. We did not. You know what? I have missed some stuff. What's up, Eric James? Don Arnay said what's up earlier. What's up? My bad, guys. My bad. They gonna go. You know who they might go? Emeka, whatever your last name is, Ohio State wide receiver.
You think they? I don't know.
They might not. They may not. You know what?
Yeah, I don't see a receiver right there.
They might go. You know who they?
With all these defensive players that are still here, on the board, following them at 31. I don't know if they're gonna.
Oh no! You know what? I know. We just said no receiver. They might go Luther Burden.
Really? I just don't see them going receiver right there. I think Andy Reid is smarter.
Reid can cook up something.
But here we talking about Andy Reid here. This is the Andy Reid that could take me or you at our current state right now and make us productive receivers in his offense.
Yes, he can. You're right. Okay.
So I think receivers a reach right there.
They need somebody up front.
Uh-huh. So are you gonna go offensive lineman?
No, I'm talking about defensive up front.
Oh, yeah. So you got Walter Nolan and Derek Harmon that's still there.
I'm gonna go Nolan.
Okay.
I hate it.
Nolan. I hate it too.
But I'm gonna go Nolan.
That's who I had down here. I had Walter Nolan.
D-tackle, Ole Miss. I hate it, but we'll go there. That's fine.
And then for the Philadelphia Eagles to end the
Shamar Stewart.
Okay, Shamar Stewart to the Eagles.
I was playing, but you serious?
Oh, no, I wasn't serious. I was going Tyler Williams, defensive tackle from Ohio State. Keep building that defense up.
Actually, I could really see them going defensive line, because Graham has retired. Huff is on the trade block, yes, even after 1 year. And Milton Williams went somewhere else. So yes, they could add a defensive lineman.
Yeah, so you got Derek Harmon. Now there is offensive tackle Josh Connolly there. He's got a 2nd round grade.
Now, here's the thing about him. They may take him because they know Lane Johnson going to retire soon. And
exactly. So
and Lane Johnson, this might be Lane Johnson's final season.
So you talking right now? You're talking about really, and I hate this because Eagles fans they're such pretentious asses.
And I hate the Eagles anyway.
Right, but their fans are the worst.
Yes. Oh my goodness.
I hate to say this, but it's the truth. It's the truth. This is a luxury pick for the Eagles.
Oh, I didn't even see this. I'm sorry, Eric. I'm sorry. Pando, I'm sorry, Eric James, you're right. I just don't know if there's a tight end high enough for them and that low in the first round. But thank you.
Talking about the Eagles?
No, the Chiefs.
Chiefs. Okay. Yeah.
Uh, Also, I've heard Gardner could be on the trade block too.
Who?
Dallas Gardner, the tight end for the Eagles.
Oh, yeah.
And just letting you know, just letting you know. Um,
If they were gonna go tight end, they would have to trade back because it would make zero sense
I agree.
to try to take a tight end right there at 32. But again though, we're talking about a luxury pick for the Eagles. The Eagles end up kind of a, when you just coming out the Super Bowl, you don't have too many needs. So really, all your picks in this draft, unless you got older players, are luxury picks.
I would take either Josh Jr., offense tackle Oregon, or I would take God.
I like to tackle either Derek Harmon right there. Either tackle, D tackle or all tackle, right there.
All right. I'm supposed to be nice because Eric was nice to both the Seahawks and the Rams, so I'm gonna be nice too.
I'm gonna say Shamar Stewart. Oh, yeah.
No, I'm being nice. I'm gonna behave myself. Okay. And I'm gonna take Josh Jr., offensive tackle Oregon.
Josh Connolly Jr., offensive
Josh
tackle
Collins
Oregon,
Jr. Yeah, I'm gonna behave myself. Okay.
to solidify the.
Offensive line for the future.
All right, so let's read back the results.
Yes.
We have finished round one, day one of the draft. The mock 1 point only is done. At number one, the Tennessee Titans take Cam Ward out of Miami. Number two, Travis Hunter out of Colorado. Perimeter weapon. That's what we're going to call it. Number three, Abdul Carter, Penn State to the New York Giants. The New England Patriots select Will Campbell, offensive tackle out of LSU. The Jacksonville Jaguars select Mason Graham, defensive tackle, Michigan. The Las Vegas Raiders take Ashton Genty, running back, Boise State. Jets take Armand Membu, offensive tackle, Missouri. The Carolina Panthers take Teteroy McMillan, wide receiver out of Arizona. Number 9, the Saints select Shador Sanders, quarterback, Colorado. Number 10, Kelvin Banks, offensive tackle, goes to the Bears out of Texas. The Niners at 11 take Jalen Walker, edge, Georgia. The Cowboys at 12 take Will Johnson, cornerback, Michigan. Tyler Booker, guard out of Alabama, goes to the Dolphins. Tyler Warren, tight end out of Penn State, goes to the Colts. Mike Green, edge from Marshall, goes to the Atlanta Falcons. The Cardinals select Mikael Williams, edge out of Georgia. The Cincinnati Bengals take Jahdae Barron, defensive back out of Texas. The Seahawks take Josh Simmons, offensive tackle, Ohio State. Buccaneers take Jihad Campbell, linebacker, Alabama. Denver Broncos take running back Omarion Hampton, North Carolina. The Pittsburgh Steelers take Jackson Dart, quarterback, Ole Miss. That's 3 quarterbacks in the first round. The LA Chargers take Matthew Golden, wide receiver out of Texas. The Green Bay Packers take James Pierce Jr., edge out of Tennessee. Vikings take Nick Emanwari, safety, South Carolina. The Houston Texans take Gray Zabel, offensive guard, North Dakota State. At number 26, the LA Rams take Colston Loveland, tight end out of Michigan. 27, Nick Sowerton goes to the Ravens. He's an edge player. Landon Jackson out of Arkansas, edge to the Detroit Lions. Donovan Easy, I ain't gonna say his whole name, goes to the Washington Commanders. He's an edge out of Boston College. The Buffalo Bills select Trey Amos cornerback out of Ole Miss. The Kansas City Chiefs figure out a way to get Walter Nolan at defensive tackle out of Ole Miss, and the Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles take Josh Connolly Jr., offensive tackle out of Oregon. You have just witnessed the second annual Just a Fan podcast, Mock 1 Point Only. We'll be saving this and we'll be posting this on our Facebook page. You're free to comment and talk about it. We want to spark discussion about it. Again, mock drafts are hardly ever right. So,
listen, I already know this ain't gonna be right.
And there's a high probability that we're gonna be wrong about some of these, and there's a high probability that we might be right about some of them. But for the most part, most time mock drafts are less than 60% correct.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we're just having fun. We're gonna do this every year, the Monday before the draft. And then we pull double duty on this week. We do our mock 1 Point Only on Monday. Then we do our live draft watch party right here on YouTube on Thursday night. We'll probably start a little bit early, probably about 6:30, to kind of set up everything and talk about the draft. And then we're going to go marathon style. And I'm gonna be late for work Friday.
I'm off Friday. I took off.
You took off, yeah. We're gonna go marathon style on Thursday because we're gonna watch the entire first round of the NFL draft, and we're gonna do live reactions and talk about what's going on. That's it. I'm tired.
Right. Yeah, I feel you, man. I feel you. All right, so hey, I know we didn't introduce ourselves because we jumped in this thing, but I'm Coach Williams, the NFL encyclopedia that runs this whole thing. Build your game in the trenches. I'm going to take this down after Thursday, so next week I'm going to have something new. That direction, panel 316. Well, actually, down below right now. So panel 316, he says that mock drafts are not usually accurate, but they are fun to do. Not in those exact words, but close enough. Also, if you want to be on this channel and cover your team when we cover the 8 divisions, hit us up on Facebook. Hit us up. If we cover the NFC North and you're a fan of the Detroit Lions or the Minnesota Vikings, hit us up. If you're a fan of the Tennessee Titans or the Jacksonville Jaguars for the AFC South, hit us up. If you're a fan of the whatever of the AFC North, the Cleveland Browns, Cincinnati Bengals, hit us up. Okay, because we're going to do 8-part series. We're going to cover each division each week. So hit us up if you want to be on the show and represent your team. Okay? Like Pando said, this is our mock draft 1 Point Only. This is our second year doing this. And then we're going to do the draft watch party on Thursday night. Please tune in because guess what? I'm going to tell you something right now. We're going to provide y'all with better analysts than ESPN and NFL Network.
Mel Kipe ain't got nothing on me.
And I'm talking about combined. Okay. So good night, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. Peace out. Oh, by the way, real quick, you can follow us on Facebook, IG, TikTok, and Twitter, and we are live on YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook. Yeah, YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook. We're live. Okay, almost forgot that. All right. And the other guys, will more than likely be on Thursday night. All right. Peace out.